it's becoming clear that China's economy has hit a rough patch.
The world's second largest economy is slow.
If real estate falls, China falls, and that means trouble for the whole world.
So this is a huge cut in the forecast for the region.
That would be delayed the release of its latest economic growth figures.
For the last couple of decades, the Chinese economy has been growing at an unprecedented pace, and the country has become one of the world's largest economic and political powers. However, there are some cracks in the wall, challenges that the country is facing resulting in concerns that its growth may not be sustainable in the long term. So, in this video, we will explore some of the key factors that are contributing to these concerns. Let's get into it. China's remarkable economic transformation can be traced back to a series of economic reforms that were initiated in the late 1970s. These reforms, which included the introduction of market-oriented policies and the encouragement of foreign investment, laid the foundation for China's economic success. Since then, China's economy has grown at an average rate of around 9% per year, which is significantly higher than most other countries. This growth has been fueled by several factors, aside from the reforms, including a large and increasingly affluent consumer base, a highly skilled workforce, and significant investments in infrastructure and technology. China is now the world's largest exporter of goods, with a significant portion of its economy based on manufacturing and industrial production. But China is not just good at manufacturing things. The country has also made significant strides in the service sector, with sectors such as finance, retail, and hospitality growing rapidly. However, despite its remarkable success, China's economy is not without challenges. One of the biggest challenges that China faces is its rapidly aging population. The one-child policy, which was implemented in 1979 and ended in 2015, has resulted in a significant decline in the country's birth rate. And on the other hand, the United Nations says that the percentage of China's population that is over the age of 65 is expected to increase from about 17% in 2020 to 32% by 2040. Now, the reason for this projection is a good thing. Situations have improved so much in China that life expectancy is higher. Unfortunately, the combination of a high life expectancy and low fertility rate is not the best for any economy. The demographic shift that will result will place a significant burden on China's economy, as there will be fewer working-age individuals to support an aging population. This is the reason that the Chinese government decided to lift the one-child policy. However, the effects of this lifting would take some time to kick in. The COVID-19 pandemic also had a significant impact on the Chinese economy, especially because it was the first country to be hit by the outbreak. In the early months of 2020, the Chinese government implemented strict lockdown measures and travel restrictions to contain the spread of the virus. These measures had a significant impact on the economy, with many businesses forced to close temporarily, and supply chains disrupted. The pandemic also had a significant impact on China's international trade, especially because of its zero-COVID policy. The policy is aimed at not just containing the virus, but eradicating it. So, it saw China implement very strict measures like mandatory quarantines and frequent lockdowns that dealt a huge blow to not just local trade but international trade, as well. And this policy only started getting looser at the beginning of 2023. So, China's economy has taken quite a beating. Another challenge that China faces is environmental degradation. The country's rapid industrialization and urbanization have resulted in significant environmental challenges, including air and water pollution, deforestation, and soil degradation. The country has experienced severe smog episodes in major cities, with high levels of air pollution causing respiratory problems and other health issues. In addition, water pollution has become a serious issue, with many rivers and lakes contaminated by industrial and agricultural waste. The Chinese government has taken steps to address these issues, like introducing policies such as the Air Pollution Prevention and Control Action Plan and several regulations on industrial wastewater discharge. These efforts have been relatively successful, but progress has been slow. China's growing economy is heavily reliant on manufacturing, which contributes to the pollution of the environment. So, unless the country can come up with some more sustainable ways of manufacturing, it would either have to reduce the volume of goods that it produces or continue to let its environment degrade. Something else that is quite concerning about China's economy is its debt situation. China's investment-driven growth model has been a double-edged sword. On the one hand, it has been successful in generating high rates of economic growth, lifting hundreds of millions of people out of poverty, and making China the world's second-largest economy. On the other hand, it has also led to a significant accumulation of debt, particularly among local governments and state-owned enterprises. China's total debt-to-GDP ratio is estimated to be around 300%, one of the highest in the world. Much of this debt has been used to finance infrastructure projects, such as high-speed rail and new cities, as well as the construction of real estate. While these investments have helped to boost economic growth, there are concerns that much of the infrastructure and real estate projects have been overbuilt, leading to excess capacity and low returns on investment. In addition, much of the debt has been issued by local governments and state-owned enterprises, which are often less efficient and more prone to corruption than their private sector counterparts. This has led to concerns about the quality of the debt and the ability of borrowers to repay it. The Chinese government has taken steps to address these concerns, but there is still a risk that the country's debt and overinvestment could lead to a financial crisis. All of that said, a huge concern is the Chinese government itself. China has been governed by the Chinese Communist Party, CCP, since 1949, and the party has maintained a tight grip on power throughout this time. While China has undergone significant economic reforms and liberalization in recent decades, the CCP remains the dominant political force in the country, with little room for dissent or opposition. One concern about this system is the potential for political instability in the long term. As China's economy continues to grow, the CCP may face increasing pressure to respond to the demands and aspirations of the Chinese people. While the party has been able to deliver significant economic growth and social progress, it has also faced criticism for its human rights record, its handling of corruption, and its suppression of political dissent. Additionally, there have been concerns about the potential for social unrest in China. While the country has made significant progress in reducing poverty and improving living standards, there are still significant inequalities and grievances among certain groups, particularly ethnic minorities and rural populations. These issues could potentially lead to social unrest or even political instability if they are not addressed effectively by the government. Finally, China's issues are not just in-house. The country's rise as a global superpower has not gone unnoticed by other countries. There are concerns that China's economic and political power could lead to geopolitical tensions with other countries, particularly the United States. The US and China have been engaged in a trade war in recent years, and there are concerns that this could escalate into a more significant conflict. Additionally, China's territorial claims in the South China Sea have raised concerns among other countries in the region. China claims sovereignty over most of the South China Sea, a strategically important region that is rich in natural resources and is also a major shipping route. Other countries, such as Vietnam and the Philippines, also have claims in the region, leading to tensions and occasional conflicts. All of that said, China is not collapsing at the moment, but there are concerns about the country's long-term economic and political stability. The Chinese government has shown a willingness to address these challenges, and the country may be able to continue its growth trajectory in the coming years. But there is also that significant possibility for things to turn sour soon.